Just finished my live stream on YouTube, and it's the second one I've done, and I really enjoy it. It's a way. I wish there was a way that I could actually interact with you all, but we're going to try to get super chats involved, in which gives you a way to push your message more directly to me so that I can read them, and because they come fast and furious, and this will give it a way to put it to the top, and hopefully we'll have that in place within 2 weeks. We're making some other changes that are going to keep some of the trollers out and some of the people we just experienced. But I wanted to do today's video on Tesla. There's some interesting news that has come out relative to Tesla. In specific, since Battery Day, we got information that Walmart has increased their order for Tesla semis threefold, up to 130 of them for Walmart Canada, and that's going to give a big boost to the popularity of Tesla. And unlike some of the other semi-truck companies, these people actually have to put down money, and they have to put down substantial money to reserve the purchase of these Tesla trucks, which go for about $200,000 a piece. The cool part about it, and the math that I have done, that the trucks use, and this will be a new measurement that we're going to all have to learn, 2 kilowatts per mile. And a kilowatt costs 12 cents. So you're basically paying 24 cents per mile to run that truck. Well, that means absolutely nothing unless you compare it to diesel fuel. And diesel fuel runs roughly twice that, about 53 cents a mile. So if you can see why a trucking company would be very interested in having a semi, a electric semi, and in this case a Tesla semi, to replace their trucks. And if I remember right, there are about 250,000 semis traded per year. So if Tesla can capture a portion of that market, say 10% of it, that's a very profitable entity. Could mean somewhere in the neighborhood of $5 billion of revenue. And if they make about a 25% or 27% profit, that's about $1.35 billion in profit. Now, that's not anything really compared to the automobile industry, where their domination is going to be. But for me, it was a vote of confidence that Walmart has chosen them. I think the other thing that pulls into that, rather than just cost of running per mile, is the low maintenance. You're not running an internal combustion engine, which is creating an explosion every millisecond, which then deteriorates the engine and gives it a lesser life expectancy. If, in fact, they get up to 1 million miles, and some semis do go, I'm sure, 1 million miles at this point, this is going to be a big plus for Tesla. And so I am a buyer of Tesla. Now, the other thing that I am is a realist, and I recognize that Tesla is not going to be the only game in town. There are other car companies, established car companies, and in particular Volkswagen, who has made a tremendous commitment that they are going to be a part of this market. And they are developing their own batteries. Elon doesn't control that, and he isn't the only game in that ground, and they're moving forward. In fact, let me see if I can find the numbers. That VW has said that they're going to put $91 billion of their money into the development of their fleet of electric vehicles. Daimler Chrysler, $40 billion into the electric vehicle. GM, 20 billion, and then there are the Korean Hyundai, 52 billion. So all in all, there's a $350 billion by other car makers who are saying we're going to be a part of that. You're not going to just drive down the highway and just see Teslas going down the highway. You're going to see VWs, and I think it's fair to say that there are probably going to be some much cheaper models of electric vehicles than there are going to be Teslas. I think their lowest price is somewhere right now around $30,000, and you can buy vehicles in the 20,000 internal combustion, and there will be those kind of cars in the electric vehicle as well. The best way to gauge this is to look at the current market and what is happening in the current market. And the best place to look at that is in Norway. In Norway, it's almost impossible to buy an internal combustion engine. In fact, 60% of the automobiles bought in 2020 have been electric vehicles. And they are Tesla in the first quarter was the leader, but in the second quarter they were surpassed by Volkswagen. Here's a chart you can look at, and you can see Volkswagen's in this game to play. They're in the game to win, or at least be a major player, if not the winner. And I think that's realistic. And as a investor, as my largest holding, does that scare me? Does that tell me I need to get away from this? No, it doesn't, because I think there's more to this than just the cars and the trucks going down the highway and what they're propelled by, gasoline, diesel, or electric. I think we then have to get into the autonomous end of it. That's certainly going to be very important in the over-the-road semis. The largest, which creates some interesting dilemmas as well, because I don't know if you know this, but the largest employment in blue-collar workers in the United States today is over-the-road truck drivers. So this is going to make a major impact on employment. And these over-the-road truck drivers aren't, I'm sure, going to immediately disappear from the cab of the cars, but eventually they will. Eventually they will. And I don't know if that's 5 years, 10 years, or 20 years off, but eventually they will. And what's important in there is, again, data. Tesla has millions of miles of data through video of the highways in not only the United States, but other countries as well, where they have their fleet out at this time. Not many cars have that. I believe, from what I've been able to read, that Volkswagen has developed their own autonomous software, but I don't know exactly what kind of data they have in it. And again, I'm not worried about this as an investor. I think Tesla's price is fair for where it's at today and where it's projected to be tomorrow. So I'm going to continue to be an owner. And as part of my investment strategy, where I'm 50% cash and I'm waiting to make my next decision on how I will allocate my portfolio, and that means potentially going to 100% cash or 75% cash or all in, but my next day of decision is going to be shortly after the election, which could be the day after, the week after, the month after, based on what I saw last Tuesday night. That's an open question. I have no idea. You have no idea. We will have no idea until we get there. So I think we need to recognize as investors that Tesla is going to have some challenges in this game. It disturbs me a bit that Elon makes some claims like 10,000 acres that he owns for mining, so that he can have a leg up in the mining or in the battery manufacturing. And then when people do the fact check, they can't verify it. And so we're talking a little bit again about fake news. And Elon, I don't want to put Elon in that category, but Elon, be honest with us. We can deal with honesty. And as your stockholders and some of your biggest fans, we deserve honesty. As I've told you, I drive a BMW. I know BMW is getting into the electric car field. I've told Nita that my next car will be an electric car. My preference would be a Tesla, but one of the things I think Tesla has to address is distribution. My closest dealership is Atlanta, and that's roughly 170 miles away. My car breaks down. I don't want to hire a trailer or a wrecker to put it on the back and drive it 170 miles, and then me find a way over there to pick it up when it's fixed. Or Elon has to sell me the car and give me the ability for a free service or free transport, and then give me a replacement car while I'm out of an automobile. And that may be in the cards or it may not be. But those sort of things have to be ironed out, whereas I'm quite sure that BMW, I know BMW and Mercedes are within 3 miles of my home. Volkswagen is probably about 7 miles from my home. So those hurdles are going to have to be gone over, and they're going to have to be a part of the future. But I'm confident Tesla is going to fit into my overall investment strategy, and that is to invest in companies that are going to change the way I live. And I hope that's the attitude that you adapt. So that's my take. This is being done for the Best of Us Investors Tribe. If you're not a member of the tribe, I strongly encourage you to join us. Right now, we're approaching 55,000 subscribers, and you join the tribe by going to bestofusinvestors.com. Give us your name and your email address. I will send you a morning letter where I give you up-to-dates on what I'm doing and what the tribe is talking about in our current situations. And our idea is that if we can put 1 million minds together, and right now we're at 55,000, sharing our ideas, we have a leg up. If we educate ourselves and we become astute investors, we not only make money in the stock market, but we learn how to keep the money that we make in the stock market, and then we learn how to pass it on to our heirs, because that's the end objective of Best of Us Investors. That's .com, and that is to create family wealth, so that you leave something behind that makes a difference not only in your children's life, but your great-grandchildren and your great-great-grandchildren, and you are remembered. Okay, let's get back at this. Tesla's a winner. I just don't know where I'm going to be after the election.